Hello everyone, I'm Mondo here. Welcome to my review, Ancient Magus episode 23. Coming to conclusion, right? And yeah, it's like Joseph's backstory, but not Phyllis' backstory. Kinda. It was weird, in my opinion. So, I mean, I didn't hate the episode, not at all. Actually, I think it was a pretty good episode. But just that it was like, we are not seeing the full story, right? If you're seeing like Joseph's interception into Phyllis' undead kind of story, and that's like how they fuse, because he was like going crazy. I can't heal you, let's fuse. And then I guess Joseph is in control of being the immortality, and of course then probably what she's talked to last week was Phyllis inside of him, right? Like so I guess, yeah. So that was a little funky there. And I mean, you kind of wish, right, that they would go into a little bit of why is he immortal, or is it just like whatever, he threw a rocket, so he's immortal. I guess, yeah. It's kind of like that is how it is, I suppose. But it felt a little weird though, in the sense that he was trying to heal it and he couldn't heal it. And I mean, I get it from a narrative sense, but like, okay, so you're immortal and you can't die. So if you find this body in the core, you know, like a corpse, but you cannot die, so yeah, it'd be rotten and so on. But why wouldn't it be able to heal it afterwards though? That wasn't displayed. I felt this like kind of what it was, yeah. And I didn't like that, because it was like, he's immortal, so sure, if you like burn it, it's gonna be like a burned corpse, but it's not gonna die, right? But if you have it then, and then you start healing it, and you feed it and so on, would it like regrow body parts, or like regrow? But I mean, he had those body parts, so if you give it fat, give it some liquid, some water, right? Wouldn't those arms be actually less dry and so on? Because it looked like he was like a dry person being the asshole right there. So that, in my opinion, was a little bit like weird. Will the curse put you being? Because that is like the curse is making you be immortal, but you also have like one life. Yeah, you have like a life meter, one health meter. You have like 1,000 health as maximum, and you can never go under 1 health. But you can also never go over 1 health, so you always like critical condition. Yeah, that's kind of like how the curse is then. So I think you could touch upon that a little bit there, especially when he was talking to this random mystic guy. He was like, yes, it's an old curse. So it's like, couldn't he explain then that this curse breaks you always be in the brink of death or something? And if you just said it that, I think it would make a lot more sense, the whole thing there. But whatever, I guess just like that is how the curse actually is. So Joseph, yeah, tries to heal it because he's like a bullied gravedigger. That also could have been more explained. I don't know. I mean, I get it, yeah, he's a gravedigger, he's in popular job, no one respects that thing, so that wasn't so weird. But talked about his mom maybe being a witch or something like that. Yeah, so I felt it was kind of weird. Like, so he's living outside the town. His parents are dead, I suppose. Were they magician or witch or something like that? And now he's a gravedigger because reasons. Yeah, it was like there's a lot of things there which I feel is kind of it's very planted or artificial, or whatever you want to call it. Like there's no like storytelling on why he got the gravedigger job or why he let people bully him, beat him up, because can't he use magic? I mean, he fused with Phyllis, and he was trying to heal Phyllis with his like witchcraft. So it's like, couldn't he fight these people, or was it like no, I never hurt anyone? But as soon as he fuses, he kills this like the innocent girl and gets his legs. It's a pretty good part, like when he was getting body parts, and it's definitely his modus operandi, right? But he just later to Sisha taking her eye and one arm and so on. So that's how he acts. So that was pretty good, actually. I think that was really good, actually, and how they all connected. But I wish there was a little more of him. Yeah, he's kind of like, here's the person with sad life, but we have to explain why his life is sad, right? And he has powers, but he wants to use the powers because, yeah, like he has no motivation not to use his powers. Like he hated them, he was gonna leave the village, like hate them all. So I think that's a little sad there. I think that's a missed opportunity, because it could have been explained that he had like a very good morale. He was like, I never hurt anyone. Mom always taught me that, magic is to heal people and so on, right? And then he would go crazy, not being able to heal Phyllis, and then he would fuse, try to heal it, and then he'd be like, yeah, I need body parts, and then he would go crazy. That also would make his madness also be more impactful in general, going from like a nice... He's a nice person. Yeah, I mean, yeah, so he is a nice person, right? He's a very nice, very heartwarming person, innocent person, right? And he goes crazy. But I think that it could be even stronger if he was like also implying he has some ethics, he has some morale, that he uses magic, and then he would be like, going more and more crazy and turning into, and then he would be this like, crazy murderer, so diffused. So I felt that yeah, like a missed opportunity how to make that his life a little better, or not better, but I mean better explained. Yeah, better, like, you know, he has these powers because of this reason, but they won't use them because of this reason. But then this happens to him and he snaps. I think it could have been something more on that. Something in that order, yeah. Something in that order. But yeah, I think it was a pretty good flashback overall. Even though I felt that it missed explaining a little detail here and there. Yeah, so before that though, we have the whole Queen thing, and I was like, what is happening, anime? I don't want to watch this. What happened to the plot, right? No, it was so weird. Like, it's so weird. So Titania appears, Fairy Queen, and she's like, she went from being this like gigantic, you know, terrified character, and also being, I don't know, I would say she's like a woman in her, you know, mid-30s, right? Very kind of MILF, yeah, that kind of character. I would say, yeah, met your audience kind of, right? And she's like, no, she's a kid or something. Yeah, no, she's like a 10-year-old or 12 or something. Yeah, she's like a young, maybe teenage girl, probably, yes, like A cup now suddenly. Weird. It was like, what was happening? It's just weird. It's like a storytelling, because you have this character, established character. Suddenly she's appearing after, like, you know, 9 episodes, and she is shrunk to a kid for some reason. And to make it more confusing, she summons like clones of herself, and they all kind of look different. Someone look like her, and somewhat taller and so on, but generally they look kind of like she's doing in this new form. But not a single one of those clones looks like the old one. Yeah, so like she has her old body shape, and now she's like 10 new body shapes, and none of them are the same. It's like, that was weird. I think that in my opinion was bad. One way, not necessarily that she's kidnapped with a fairy, but I mean, why wasn't at least one of the clones? Maybe I missed it. Comment below if I missed it, but I'm pretty sure, I looked at this again, I'm pretty sure that not a single clone of her was the old form, right? And that to me is weird. That to me is like a really weird detail to miss out in there, because obviously, if she can change her body up and down, age, you know, and so on, length, whatever, right? If you can adapt to that thing, change it around, sure, she can use magic, but as soon as she summons, here's 10 different versions of me. Oh yeah, and it's like, why isn't a single one of them not even close? Yeah, not a single one of them is close to her previous form that she was in every episode until the episode, right? That's really detail missing there. Like, one in the background of this 10 plus clone should have been the old, you know, more 35, 40ish form of her. Yeah, that would make much more sense in my opinion. I was like, what's happening? That was really like, you know, throwing salt in the wound there. I was like, this is weird. But yeah, they go there, they try to make Elias like, oh yeah, let's kidnap Shisa again, because, you know, we are fairies, we are all kind of evil and selfish. And he's like, no! So he has some character development there, that's good. Then Root appears, because he apparently was inside of Elias or something. That was weird. I was like, he's just there. I think there's a lot of these things in the anime, right? It's very convenient, the anime, yeah. It's very much, oh, Root's there. Because, you know, it's like, yeah. And then later on, when they chase Joseph, this witch accidentally is in the same alley. She's like, oh yeah, I owe you a favor. So here my bull now. It's like, what? Why did this happen? It's like, yeah, it's a lot of those convenient magic tricks to do. That's been a problem with the anime, I think, for a very long time, as many times you just heal Shisa without, you know, oh, I healed her because this thing, yeah. And it's like, oh, I can teleport. Oh, I can, like, wisp guys inside of, yeah, he's with sorcerer people, and he teleported them also to that thing. So they appear with Shisa and don't really do anything. They kind of fight one monster and then they're kind of gone again. But it's like, that also felt really weird. They did show all of the characters, right? Kind of concluding stories. I was like, yeah. Yeah, there were a lot of that convenient stuff. But one thing that I'm thinking about when I watched the episode, I was like, what happened to Stella? Because you see, she's running after Joseph. Okay, that makes sense. She want to help him, right? And Root after him, Elias after them, and they're all running that path, and then Witch appears because of Bull. And so, and they have all of that, right? Yeah, all of that's happening. And Elias also goes into the shadow, even though it's way after them. Also very convenient, but whatever. So they're doing that. We see the other guys, they're like, let's teleport. Yeah, Queen leaves by teleporting in the black hole. The other guys, I guess, teleport out with the Wisp guy. They do the blue teleporting. What happened to Stella? Wasn't Stella here? And no one seems to save her. Maybe I missed that. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But I looked at it again, very briefly though. I looked at it again and was like, I can't see Stella here. It felt like maybe, Rainfeld could have like, oh, there's Stella, like pick her up or something, because they were like, kind of, they're humans, right? But it seems like no one cared about that. They was like, oh, let's teleport out. Like, it's burning, let's leave this place. Like, is she burned alive? Did he just let her die there? It's like, probably not. It was like, they're probably gonna say later that, oh, we found her before we left or something, even though it really looked like they just teleported out there and did not try to look for her. So, yeah. Okay, I guess she burned alive. I don't know. I think it's probably all gonna say off screen, right? They're gonna say that, oh, we found her when we were teleporting in some way. Yeah, it's like probably gonna conveniently explain that she didn't die for very, very much. So I think next episode, in the end, probably. But that felt really weird. They didn't like, let's teleport. Who's that? Stella? And then they would pick her up, and then they would leave. That would be like a better scene. Harley Quinn could have been like, oh, a little human girl, let me take her with me before I leave in my black hole or something like that. That couldn't have been. That felt sort of lacking. Yeah, I was like, what happened there? Phyllis too, clearly voiced by not those Luffy and someone Krillin. Yeah, very, very similar voice. Like, it sounds like Luffy all the time. Yeah. She was not in the tree. That was weird too. I think the episode had a lot of like detail issues. I mean, the episode in general was pretty good, but when you look at it like in like a nitpicking vision, it's like, how is she there? Well, I said that during the rest as well. I was like, man, how does she leave? It's like an astral projection, it's an illusion that she kind of just teleports away. So I'm guessing it was. But I don't like this anime. They have to guess and do a lot of assumption right now. And I felt that that's been this case with anime for probably the last 10 episodes, where it's like, okay, she was cursed inside of a tree. She's dying. She can't leave this tree, but she's still here hugging this other witch, talking to her for like 5 minutes, and then she leaves with magic. And if it's like, she can leave the tree, or was that some kind of teleporting but only parts of my body, or astral projection, right, or something? And maybe I say again, maybe I missed that again, but I don't think I did. I rewatched the scene in the beginning of it, and I was like, she doesn't mention how she's there, and she's just like, oh, you're here, Phyllis, oh, don't complain about me. Yeah, and she's like, oh, I see. Like, couldn't you say, oh, I see, astral projection, what do you want, Phyllis, or just something, right? Maybe she does say that, but I don't think so. I think there's a lot of those scene episodes where it's just like, oh, I'm here now. And it's like, how can you be here? You're cursed in the tree. And then she appears, she's like, yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, it's like, yeah, of course. Like, and then she doesn't care about it. It's like, it's normal. That's with everything else in the episode. It's a lot of conveniences. Like the bull thing as well. It's a lot of that all the time. And then it ends. The ending was funny, but also a little bad production value. How it ends with the fountain. You're thinking like, what is a fountain? Think it's gonna end. It's like, oh, it's only a minute. But it felt like they could have done it better. Like they could have done the ending right, and then the ending at the start. Yeah, like they could have done that scene into the ending. But no, it was like kind of a weird position where it was like, here's the ending frame that we see every week, it's like ending frame. And then instead of just doing ending frame into, like the screen thing opening up there, as we do with other episodes, they could have done anything into like anything again. Yeah, it's like this short, very, very short, brief frame in between there. It's like anything, anything. And that was really weird. I felt very unnecessary. They could have gone from, running into him, yeah, the other way, like running into him there, into this thing and then upright. Sort of like, sort of like doot. Could have been like, that order. Snow obviously is like this order, right? Yeah, 100%. But I mean, the ending is only a scrolling thing upright. There's also thing happening in the ending, so they could just gone into that thing by going, up right away. Yeah, by doing it, talking to him, and then going into it. So it's like going into it, talking to him, and then go back and up. Yeah, it felt really weird. It was off-putting me how that happened. It felt like it could be way better transition into the ending there. Or just starting the song, during the speaking to him, and then going into the normal ending from that. But editing those two characters into the ending, right? Also would be better, I think. Like, yeah, it would have been. And I must say one thing though, they mentioned that going back to London where it all started. So I guess he grew up in London, Joseph. Like he was like a gravedigger in London, I'm guessing, like 1,000 years ago. Probably. That's kind of how it sounds. But also though, why is it like this really ruined fountain in London? Like, where is that place in London? It feels weird. Like, this place looks like it was like, when you see the ending before you get the episode, it feels like the dragons kind of caused this destruction of London, right? But no, they just walked there. So apparently it is already destroyed in London. So where did they go? Like some kind of old ghetto in London that he knows about? That's a little weird, whatever. But yeah, I'm guessing that she's just gonna somehow redeem him, right? She's gonna take away from him, split them apart, I suppose, and Joseph will die, and I don't know what he will do with Phyllis, but maybe she's gonna absorb it and become immortal as she wanted. Yeah, I can see that happening. I can see her fusing with Phyllis then, and getting his mortality. He will die finally, right? And she will be immortal, and that's why she can't die, and she won't, of course, not be cursed. So that's probably what's gonna happen. So anyway, hope I enjoyed this review, and I'll see you guys next week.